Hi friends, you have seen running stitch and satin stitch using paper. Now I am going to show with silk cotton cloth. We used only pedaling for doing running stitch. For satin stitch we used both pedaling as well as the lever point adjustment with thighs. In today's training we are practicing the stitches using silk cotton cloth. Hope you all practiced well using pattern sheet, plain sheet and got the control over your embroidery machine. You need to move the frame with your hand manually forward and backward based on the design. Now I am showing running stitch. I am using pedaling only. I am moving the frame to complete the running stitch on the straight line which I drawn. Next I am doing satin stitch using both pedaling and lever point adjustment using thighs. If you press the lever heavily you will get broad satin stitch. If you press the lever lightly you will get thin satin stitch. Based on the width, adjust the lever until you get the desired width of satin stitch. For button or bead stitch you need to start with running stitch and continue with satin stitch and finish with running stitch again. Again running stitch and satin stitch. You will get this button stitch. You can notice that the adjustment point will be in 0 while doing running stitch. It varies from 0 to 5 when I do satin stitch using lever adjustment. For short petal stitch, start with running stitch with start with sharp satin and finish with curve shape satin. Again start with running stitch with start with sharp satin and finish with curve shape satin. Repeat the same. For single petal stitch, start with running stitch with start with sharp satin and finish with sharp satin. Again start with running stitch with start with sharp satin and finish with sharp satin. You can notice that the adjustment point increases gradually and decreases based on the width and finishes with sharp satin. For heart-shaped stitch, please keep the curved part towards right-hand side always. Start with running stitch, gradually increase to satin stitch and near the curved part press the lever heavily for broad satin stitch and decrease the satin stitch and finish with running stitch again. Start with running stitch, gradually increase to satin stitch and near the curved part press the lever heavily for broad satin stitch and decrease the satin stitch and finish with running stitch again. Repeat the same. I have drawn a flower pot which consists of different types of stitches we have learned in previous classes, from running stitch to heart-shaped stitches. I have filled the pot outline using satin stitch. For flower stem I used satin stitch again. For leaves and flowers I used sharp petals stitches and short petals stitches. For heart-shaped stitch, please keep the curved part towards right-hand side always and practice. For pot border design I used button bead stitches. If you practice like this it will be very easy for you to understand the stitches and how to do it easily. For practicing each stitches I have shown each flower 2 times in this video. This helps to practice each stitches clearly. Please do more practice using the silk cotton cloth. This helps you to complete the designs neat and clear. In my next class I will show you various types of fillings used in designs. Thank you friends. See you in the next class. Hi friends, if you liked my video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and press the bell button. And the latest video will come to you soon. Thanks.